Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad, and today I'm going to fix a mistake that I made when installing the Chrome Delete vinyl wrap on our window trim. So when I installed this initially, I had done so under adverse conditions, and I had started with this chrome piece on this back driver's side window, and it didn't go so well. Afterwards, I figured out what I did wrong and was able to successfully install all of the vinyl wrap Chrome Delete on our car. But having started with this piece, I ran into issues where I kept putting the vinyl wrap on and then removing it and putting it on and removing it, contaminating some of the vinyl with some dust and debris. And at the end of the day, as you can see here, I have a little corner that no matter what I do, it does not want to stay stuck in place. So I added some heat. Over time, I think it's just lost its adhesiveness. And you know what? That's fine, because I'm going to use this as an opportunity to find out which method of vinyl Chrome Delete is cheapest and, more importantly, is easiest. When I first installed the vinyl Chrome Delete, I used pre-cut pieces that I purchased from Crux Motorsport, and they worked out very well. I did get a replacement piece from Crux, and I have to say it wasn't all that cheap, given that it's just one piece of black vinyl wrap. Just this piece right here. With shipping, it was a little on the expensive side, which got me to think if it was really worthwhile to go with the pre-cut versus buying a roll of gloss black vinyl wrap and doing it yourself. I think the common thought is because these pieces are pre-cut, they should be that much easier to apply. If you're interested in finding out which method, whether the pre-cut vinyl or buying a roll of vinyl wrap and cutting it yourself is cheapest and which is easiest, then stay tuned. All right, let's get it out of the way. I think the answer to which is cheapest is very easy to solve. Buying the pre-cut does supposedly make it easier for you to apply the vinyl pieces on your window trim. However, it's not cheap in comparison to buying simply a roll of vinyl wrap. And you can get these pieces. I bought this on Amazon. I'll leave a link below, but it's inexpensive. You get a ton of it. So if you make mistakes, you got plenty left over to correct them. But really the question is spending the extra money buying pre-cut vinyl wrap for your Chrome Delete worth the extra cost? Does it make it easier than installing it yourself by the foot? And my guess, and I'm going to time this, is that it will be easier to install it by the foot. When I was installing the vinyl wrap that's pre-cut, you have to get your lines exactly even. You need to make sure that you have this corner exactly in this corner. You need to make sure that as you're applying it, that you're laying it out in such a manner that everything is lining up perfectly. And while originally that sounds great because it's cut to size, it actually makes it a little bit more challenging. My theory is you buy it by the foot. Not only is it cheaper, but in a way you can willy-nilly the installation and laying it out much quicker and then cutting it after the fact. But we're going to find out. Okay, before I start the stopwatch, which I do want to time myself, here's some tools that I'm using. So I do have a felt tipped squeegee to help lay it down. I have a razor blade, and make sure you use a new razor. You want to make sure it's as sharp as possible if you are planning to cut the vinyl yourself. However, I'm not. I'm going to guess that some of you are not experienced in using vinyl, or you just simply want to be more cautious, and I would recommend using a different method, and that method is using the 3M knifeless tape. So you lay down this tape. It's almost like a fishing line, a very small thread inside this green tape. And you lay it down and it's sticky. And wherever you lay it down, wherever that thread is, once you pull up on that thread, it's going to rip through the vinyl. So I'm going to apply it here, and then I would apply it up through the bottom portion, because when we lay the vinyl, we're going to lay it from the top to the bottom. And as you do this, I would err on the side of putting the white thread more on the black trim piece than on the chrome. That way, a little overlap on the vinyl will blend in with the black on the outside. Because this is now overlapping, we have to make sure that we pull this thread before we pull this thread. So that's in there. I'm going to do another little piece right up at the top here. So in order, we're going to do the small one, this long one, and then that one. This has a plastic film on the top, so you may see that getting roughed up. What you do is that you apply this, and then once everything's in place, you pull off that protective film on the top here. Now, as you can see, it's not the right size. They sell this in different sizes, so I'll indicate what size this is. You'd want another inch, so it's a little wider. I did not purchase this to go on this chrome delete. I purchased it for the lower chrome, but I'm just using it for purposes of doing the comparison here. So bear with me. And this is the, again, the 3M Series 2080. Now I got to remove the design line. So you have to cut just a little bit of a tip off of the end to get access to that thread, and then pull on the thread so it starts ripping the green tape down the middle. So it has to rip through the tape to get to the vinyl and then start ripping through the vinyl. We're done. I'm just going to remove the plastic outer film. And by the way, we're at 19 minutes. That took a long time. I don't know what's wrong with me. Now, let's compare that to how long it takes to apply the pre-cut strip. So yeah, after 19 minutes, I'm going to rip this off now. Okay, I have our pre-cut chrome delete. This is an Avery Dennison that I purchased from Crux Motorsport. All my chrome delete around my window trim anyway is from Crux Motorsport. And it worked out well. I've had it on for over a year. It has withstood the winter and several washings. So I have no issues whatsoever. Again, us replacing this was my fault, not the product's fault. So let's see how long it takes for me to install this pre-cut piece. So that's it, almost. So even though this is cut to fit, this end is long, so you do have to use a razor blade to cut off just a little bit of the top piece here. So that's why I started over here. Start with this corner, make your way up, and you do have some excess, and I'm gonna have to just cut a little piece of this off here. I was wrong. That only took 10 minutes, but I have to say that went on really easily. Meaning when I did this Chrome delete a year ago on all of the windows, all of the window trim itself, it didn't go on that easy. So I think I was lucky. Yeah. If you are wondering which was easier to install, I'd say it all depends. It is easy to install the by the roll. You just have a couple more steps and it may take a little bit longer. It is relatively easy to install the pre-cut. However, you have to be more exact. You have to take your time and just make sure that you're covering all of the chrome. And if you lay it a little bit off, you have to pull it up and realign it to make sure you get it just right. But hey, what's nice is there's different options. Whichever one you choose, you can't go wrong. I love the Chrome delete on our white pearl Honda Accord. I think the accent with the black looks fantastic, and I'm not going to stop there. Now that I replaced this piece, I am going to start on the Chrome delete on the lower trim pieces.